Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday's Wealth Live with Sandy R. And this is about me sharing the wealth. In working with the top success and prosperity teacher in the world, I have a lot of learnings. There's a lot of teachings I've absorbed, not only from him, and I'm talking about Bob Proctor, but from all the studying I do, whether it's Maxwell Maltz or Napoleon Hill or Wallace D. Wattles or Thomas Troward or Genevieve Behrend, Neville Goddard. There's so many greats. And I just love to share this stuff because I'm hoping that you'll take some in and go, oh, whoa, that's made a difference. Okay, so that's why I'm doing these weekly for the most part, unless it's during our signature training series, the Fast Path to Success, which we do every 6 weeks. So during the Fast Path, I don't do these because I'm doing live into LinkedIn and Manifesting Success, our Facebook group anyway. So today, because I've actually been working on this concept in one of our programs called the Goal Achievers Forum, I was actually just working with this earlier, yesterday, and I thought this is a great question because we get it all the time. It's like, because we work with people to go after big dream goals. How do you break through and achieve big time success, quantum leap success? And for when we get the first part of the journey with us is exploring and deciding upon what kind of big time success, breakthrough success do you really want to create? And in the discussions, inevitably, people will go, well, I would love to 10 times my income. Like I'm making barely 100,000 in my business. I'd love to be a millionaire, but I don't know how to do that. I would love to leave my job and I'd love to run a company, but I don't know how I'd do that, for goodness sakes. Right? People get caught up in the how. So how can I decide to go after a big goal if I can't possibly see how I can make it happen? Well, I'm going to read you just a little bit from a phenomenal article written by Bob Proctor on decision. And this is an important part here. So let me just share this with you, because in the end, you do not need to know the how. And there's science behind why you don't need to know the how. It's understanding how success works. It's understanding how your powerful mind works. Yours, mine. We all have an extraordinary, powerful instrument called the mind that we're barely using. We don't. We tend to live from our programming. But you and I have a phenomenal mind. It's just underutilized. So it feels like, oh, I don't know that I'm that smart, or I don't know if I've got that great an imagination. Yes, you do, but you're not taught. You're not conditioned to use these mental muscles, okay? But man, when you start using them, your life changes dramatically. So let me just read you this part. He says, when John F. Kennedy asked Wernher von Braun, who was considered the father of space exploration back in the 60s, I guess that was, when he asked him, what would it take to build a rocket that would carry a man to the moon and return him safely to Earth? Von Braun's answer was simple and direct: the will to do it. He didn't get stopped. Well, I don't know. We'll have to figure out how. No. Simple answer. A powerful answer. The will to do it. President Kennedy never asked if it was possible. He never asked if he could afford it, or any one of 1,000 other questions, all of which would have at the time been valid questions. How can we possibly do it? Nope, didn't ask that. President Kennedy made a decision. He said, we will put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade. The fact that it had never been done before in all of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history was not even a consideration. The fact that they had no clue how they would do that was never a consideration. He decided where he was with what he had at the time. The objective was accomplished in his mind the second he made the decision. It was only a matter of time, which is governed by natural law, before the goal was manifested in form for the whole world to see. As they went along, they discovered how it was going to happen. They didn't know when they said, yeah, we're going to do it. Bob also goes on to say this in a separate example. He was discussing with some other people an opportunity. After a reasonable amount of time in this discussion, one of the partners asked me when I wanted a decision, and I replied, right now. You already know what you want to do. There was some discussion about, well, how would they do it? I pointed out that that has nothing to do with it. Once you make the decision, you will figure out how every time. I explained that I've never let the how enter my mind when I'm deciding whether I will or will not do something. It's never a consideration. Whether I want to or not is the only consideration. Whether I want to or not is the only consideration. The will, I want to make that happen. That's pretty cool, eh? So why does it happen that way? Why did that? Those are examples where they didn't know the how, and they went after something and they figured out. So what's the science? So how do we understand? Will that work for me? Yeah, it will. It will. You won't see, a lot of the time, you won't see how to make it happen, whatever your big goal is, assuming you're clear. Most of the time, we don't see how it will unfold to make it happen until we commit. Now, therein lies the rub, because a lot of people go, well, I'm not committing unless I can understand how. But the mind and success doesn't work that way. When you commit, then your mind jumps and goes, whoa, okay, how are we going to do that? Your mind operates on a totally different level once the commitment's made. But everybody else, the masses, are holding back. I'm not committing yet. I can't see how I'd make that happen. The mind doesn't work that way. Once you commit, your mind shifts. Now, and here's the fun thing. You have lots of examples in your life of where this has been working. You just haven't been aware of it. It may have been when you maybe bought your first car, or made a big leap for a big luxury car. Maybe when you bought a house. Maybe you decided something as simple as a beautiful, expensive outfit. Maybe it was a trip. You went, I'm going on this big trip. And it wasn't until you actually went, we're doing this, that your mind went into gear. Like, say it's buying a house, right? Oh, I'm going to buy the house. Oh, where am I going to get the money? I have no clue how I'm going to do this, but I want the house. I'm so sick and tired of living in my apartment. I'm ready for a house. I love a house. I've always wanted a house. I can picture it as happening. So the desire and the will was there. But in this example, I didn't know how. But as soon as you commit, okay, I've committed. And then my mind goes to work. Okay, I guess I better talk to my financial advisor. I better talk to a real estate agent. Maybe I'll go on some road trips and scout out some different areas of the city. Well, your mind starts to move. And here's the other thing. A big goal, if you use the analogy that the big goal, a big dream goal, is the top of the mountain. If you're standing at the bottom of the mountain, can you see how to get to the top? No. You can probably see the first 1,000 yards. So if you decide, I'm going up the mountain, I'm going to the top, just get started. You go up the first 1,000 yards. And what happens when you get up to the crest of the 1,000 yards? You go, oh, there's actually 3 different paths we could do. Let me see. That one's south facing, maybe a little warmer with the sun. Let's do that one. Okay. More and more ideas of how to make it happen become evident once you commit and get into inspired action. That's how success works. And that's how the mind works. When it's got that goal clear and you love what you're going after, and you've decided, committed, and not, well, I don't know how no, when you're committed, your mind, your phenomenal, your extraordinary instrument of the mind will go to work for you, but you've got to let it go to work. It's that determination. It's like Wernher von Braun and John F. Kennedy. We're going to the moon. It's that determination that makes it happen. Are you determined to go after a goal? Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Back to what Bob said in his article. Right? He said, I don't even give the how any consideration whatsoever. The only consideration is, do I want this? Right? So it all points back to, do you really want it? So clarity of what you want, like figure out, do I want it? Do I have the will to go after something? Figure out what you want and then commit. Just go, I really want it. It's happening. I really, 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 really want it. You know, whether it's the promotion, maybe you want to be an executive in your company that you're currently in, or maybe you want to start a new company in the same industry, start your own little business, big business. What do you really want? And are you determined enough to go after it? If you are, and you go, yep, it's happening, let's get going, you may only see the first 1,000 yards in front of you. That's okay. Take action. Know you're heading towards your goal. And your mind is going to start popping new ideas and seeing new paths that you know what, have you ever made a decision, you kind of trusted yourself, like, okay, I'm going to go for it. And all of a sudden new ideas, you went, why didn't I think about that before? Right? We have lots of examples of that, or somebody else thinks of it. They go, why don't you do such and such? And you look at them and you go, why didn't I think of that? Because you weren't committed, or you were committed and it's not clear. You got to be clear in your goal, but you weren't committed. When you're clear and you're committed, you make that committed decision, then you will have new ideas. Oh, I should have thought of this earlier. I got a great idea. It's so fun. Sometimes it feels like opportunities and ideas are dropping into your lap. It almost feels magical, like, what's going on here? But it's because your mind shifted gears, because you really, really want something. And so you'll think of new opportunities. Whoa, why didn't I talk to so-and-so? Jesus, I didn't even think of that one. New resources will become evident. You know what? I could tap into these kinds of resources. It's powerful how this all works out, guys. But most people, the masses get caught up in, I can't see how first. So I guess I can't make it happen. I can't make a decision to go for it if I can't see how. Well, that's not how it works. There's one other quote here. The greatest stumbling block you will encounter when making important decisions in your life is the how and your circumstances. Well, but this is the way I am right now, so I don't know how I would do that. We let circumstances get us off the hook when we should be giving it everything we've got. We let the how get us off the hook when we should be giving it everything we've got. More dreams are shattered. Let me leave you with this, because I don't want this to be you. More dreams are shattered and goals abandoned because of the how, because you can't understand how to get there. And so because of your current circumstances and how you're currently thinking, more dreams have been shattered and goals abandoned for those reasons than for any other reason. Not because you gave it all you got and you failed. That falls down the list by far. More dreams have been shattered and goals abandoned because of getting caught up in this. I don't know how to do it, so I can't commit. Or because of the circumstances, your current circumstances, the way you currently see things. More dreams have been shattered and goals abandoned for those reasons than for any other single reason. You know what? You're going to have to trust. This is how the mind works. And this is how success works. Successful people, like highly successful people, Don't get stuck on the how. They know, I'll figure it out. Well, how are you going to find the resources? I don't know. I'll figure it out. They just go, that's happening. That goal is happening. We're going to the moon. We're doing this joint venture. I'm buying this dream home. I'll figure it out. And you will. You will. Every time. Thanks for joining me today on Wednesday's Wealth. If you have any questions, if you have comments on that, let's get some discourse going on. I love having conversation around these concepts because they're powerful. They are so powerful and they are empowering the more you understand how this all works. So I hope that's helped. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next week.